Okay, here is a really fun score, and just there's just so many different ideas in this. That's so neat. Now here we've got the reverse fingered tremolo, so it's almost like getting a double fingered tremolo, sort of double the frequency of the parts as they go back and forth against each other. That's a really cool idea. And sort of the same thing here. It's almost like doubled trills, really, for the flutes and the clarinets in these bars. And that has this wonderful rustling sound, as you could hear in the playback just now. And that will be really effective, no question about it. Just tiny bit of pizzicato support right in there. The English horn getting the solo at the beginning and then trading off on that same note, written C sharp sounding F sharp here with the oboe, and then launching up quite high. I'm not so sure about this. That's kind of like doubled staccato. How well that is going to work. Flutes, like it's going upwards in a sort of a harmonized little jumping, sort of kind of like a leaping gesture. Not so sure, like technically. I mean, I think that's technically possible, but I think it'll be like in real life. It'll be more fiddly sounding than you anticipate, right? It's I don't know. Well, so you may be a wind player and you may imagine it or have played something similar, that would work fine. So not to judge that too much, but yeah. Okay, now be careful about stacking rows of crescendo marks like this, because what that tells the player is, oh, piano crescendo, so this must be piano crescendo, and that will be piano crescendo to mezzo forte. So if you're intending really to go piano and then a little bit more and a little bit more and then ending up at mezzo forte, just have one long hairpin, okay? And it's a little problematic that you have got this like reverse, like so you want your solo to kind of get loud and then soft and then mezzo forte here. So like you want this to be forte. So it doesn't quite sort of jibe with maybe this was an accident. I don't know. This hairpin going backwards. All right. But yeah, so the only thing I would say that like I have a problem with I mean there's a little bit of adjusting, a few little things that need to be fixed. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, it's just like, once again, broadcasting. Like I commented in the first couple of website evaluation videos that were released last week. And that is just kind of like going up to, sort of ripping up to something. Okay, so we've already got this glissando and we've got this little rip up here to these F sharps in oboe and piccolo. Okay, and then you do it again with everybody, right? So I just feel that it's really gilding the lily, right? Like, so it's happening several times within the same screen here. So it might be just a little much, right? So it's just kind of like you're saying, hey, look at over here, right? That's sort of the so like one of them is great, but like two of them, it's just kind of like, yeah, we already know, right? So the listener might just actually turn off. So I mean, a lot of this has to do with just taste and inspiration and everything else, but I would just say, like, warn against people from ripping up to things so frequently. All right? Okay. And, like here, like we're not really hearing the melody note of the repeated D sharp, right? So that was the other thing that I was going to say, like, there is a D sharp in there, and it is the actual melody note under the F sharp, all right? But, I mean, you can interpret it this way, but there's, like, no motion, right? There's no resolution, right? Da 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 da. Right, that da da resolves and gets you ready for bum 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 bum. So like that, with that taken out, right? We don't have that element to the music. All right. Yeah, and like this little contra bassoon down here is going to be way more audible than you think. All right, so here we've got it doubling the double bass pizzicato here. Okay, so it's really going to stand out, and there's kind of like there's like nothing else lower down. Like there's no doubling from, like there's no octave in the double bass and so on and so forth. So that this really will be much more protuberant in as a factor in real life. It's nice that there's a little bit more cushioning right here in the strings, but that will still not make up for this somewhat exposed. And you do not have to mark mezzo piano on the solo lines, right? They're just there. Mark them piano. It's all right. Like if you are doing this, it's sort of like thinking in terms of sound sets, like to try to get the melody to stick out a little bit because the sound set isn't doing it. It should all be the same in a passage like this. All right. Okay, and then bum 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 pluck pluck pluck. I really like the added motion in here with the harp and the bass clarinet, pizzicato, cellos, doubling, and so on. That's all really really cool. I really like that. That's really really fun. And you've got these little these little figurations right in here, but like these are also adding to the idea of rising up, right? So rising up, rising up, rising up, right? So how much can you do that in a phrase? So just watch out for that. This is really fun. I like the fact that you are alternating it. Like first it's like horns, bassoons, clarinets, and oboes, then alternating with flutes, clarinets again, bassoons, but celesta on top. Now the celesta, it will sort of sound up there, but really the focus will be on the flute. Like the ear of the listener will be focusing on the flute more than anything else, or picking it out better. All right, then yeah, bum bum bum. So all winds. All right, that's going to work great. And just really sound very Russian, just like that particular combination. Yeah, and that like the piccolo carries the little melody there on the F sharp, right? And then we've got the same thing. We've got that supported below by first oboe. See, so that's really strong, right? That combination right in there with the standard flutes playing harmony in the middle. So that's all very, very good. And then clarinets an octave below that. So it all works out great. And then this chord here, that's nicely done. This is really kind of like you're changing a couple of notes here in the middle. It really would be better, like there's no sense of sustain. Like, I mean, it's just you don't have to worry that the harpist will cut off those, that outside ninth right in there, right? So I would just say tie to here and then these two notes, all right, and don't worry about the outside, all right? It's not necessary to tie the outside here. The sense of sustain will just be in the harp, all right? All right, so other than that, really, really cool score, Connor. I mean, just really great ideas and nice, playing around with textures and functions. Just really, a very standout score and a great way to bring our minim entries to an end here. This was so satisfying. I was actually planning to do these last Friday, my time, but several things happened over the weekend that I had to take care of, and also, Mother's Day and everything else. So, all right, so that's all out of the way. So I can probably dedicate most of the upcoming 2.5 weeks to just doing evaluations pretty much every day as long as my throat lasts. And so, watch out, everybody, because here comes a huge deluge of evaluations, and hope everybody can keep up. All right? Because I am really having a huge fun time here. So, I'll see everybody very, very soon with the semi-brev and dotted semi-brev evaluations.